The Scholly app has been around for quite a few years these days, and a lot of families ask me, is it legitimate? Is the Scholly app worth our time? So in today's video, I want to break down what the Scholly app is, give you a little bit of a tour, and some pros and cons about using this in your journey to paying for college. Now, don't forget to hit subscribe because every single week I release a new strategy on how to pay for college without student debt. Hello, my name is Jocelyn Pearson, founder of the Scholarship System, where I teach families how I secured over 6 figures in scholarships and graduated completely debt-free. Scholarships were my bread and butter, and they continue to be. So when it comes to looking at websites and understanding, okay, is this worth us using? Is this not? This is what I do. So I'm really excited to record this video today. So what is Scholly? Scholly is an app and an online website where it is basically a database of scholarships for your student. Now, I will tell you right now, I enjoy all of the scholarship search engine sites, but they typically are my last line of defense. I typically try to find scholarships directly from the sources myself on their websites. That way I'm uncovering ones that are typically not on the search engines, therefore they're less competitive. Also, I know the source, so the chances of them being legitimate are much higher. I can also typically know that then it's aligned with my criteria, with my major, with whatever it is that we're looking for in search terms. So if you want to learn how I use Google to find these scholarships that way, so you can go to the link in the description below, or you can go to thescholarshipsystem.com/free webinar. It's about an hour long, so make sure you reserve time because you are going to learn a ton of strategies. So going back to Scholly, this was founded by a man named Christopher Gray, and he was actually on Shark Tank. So Christopher won over $1 million in scholarships. A lot of this is by tons of different offers from universities, so don't feel like if your student is not getting over $1 million, then that's insufficient. It's okay. I got just over $100,000 and was able to graduate debt-free. So that is just something to keep in mind. But that said, he developed this app to help students more easily find scholarships they can apply to. The idea here is that it matches users with scholarships that meet their criteria. So you'll see when in the tour how they do that in just a moment. Now, comment below, have you used Scholly or have you considered it? Did your student find any scholarships there? Let me know in the comments. Now, you can find the Scholly app on the iOS App Store. You can also find it on Google Play. So even if you have an Android or an iPhone, it is available to you. You can also go to myscholly.com. That is their website. We'll link to that in the description below. Now, this does cost money. So at the time of recording this, it is about $35 per year or $25 for half a year, or you can pay about $4.99, I believe, per month. Now, of course, you want to check their website for the latest prices, but it does cost some money in order to use it. So let's go ahead and take a little bit of a tour. Now you can see here, it does ask a basic profile, your basic information, age, year, school that you want to attend, what grade your student is in, what kind of degree they're going after. Then you want to enter any kind of majors. So you can see me typing here just a few examples so you can get an idea of what's in there. But they have a pretty vast selection here when it comes to choosing majors. In fact, actually, I've done previous searches where I was able to choose almost every engineering degree under the sun. Now, when you hit save, something I noticed is that it actually makes you enter it twice. I'm not sure what that is, why that's happening, but maybe it's just a little glitch in the system. It happened to me multiple times, actually. So just an FYI, I would just re-enter the majors and then hit save again, and it seems to work correctly. So then once you enter the information, you will see a list of results. So these are scholarships where when you see one you want to check out, you click view, you go to the application, and it'll actually open up the website where the scholarship is housed. You might have to do a little bit of digging. Sometimes URLs change, scholarships will change. So just, you might have to go ahead and click to another link and go a little bit deeper like we did here. Now, just because they're on this website doesn't 100% guarantee that they're legitimate. So we want to make sure that we're looking at what is the application like? What are the criteria like? I'll link to a separate video where I talk about how to spot scholarship scams because unfortunately they do sneak into even this app. So you have to be on the lookout. So that was just a quick little tour, but one of the things you might have noticed was that next to each scholarship, there was actually a score. The higher the score, the better the match. Basically, this is based on the number of matched parameters, how well it matches your student's profile, and then also the competition is what they claim that it is, which I'm not sure exactly how they measure it. If your student is going off to the application's website, I'm sure that maybe when the applications ask to be on Scholly, they probably submit how many applicants they get, and that's how they base it. Or they could be looking at how many students are saving the scholarship. But either way, they use their own algorithm to figure out what the competitiveness is. So again, the higher the number next to the scholarship name, supposedly the better it is for your student. Now I want to go into just a few pros and cons about the Scholly app. So one pro is that actually Scholly does not sell your student's information or your information to third parties. This is huge because one of the biggest complaints I have with other websites that are scholarship search engines is that you will sign up and you will just be flooded with emails from marketers or from student loan companies or all these other related businesses because they're selling your students' information. So I really love that Scholly does not do that when it comes to your students' information or yours. Another pro is that, of course, they are using criteria to reduce the number of results. That is always going to save families time. So I of course, love that aspect of it. Now, one con to this is that you do have to pay, but in my opinion, $5 a month to potentially find thousands of dollars in scholarships, for me, that's just a no-brainer fee, but it is still a fee. So this is something to keep in mind. If your student does sign up for this, if you sign up for this, make sure that you're using it so that you're not just paying for it for no reason. The other con is that even though it does use criteria to narrow down the search results, you still have to sift quite a bit. You still have to go through, click view application, and then you have to go to the website, and then you have to see whether or not your student is truly eligible and whether or not it is a scam or not. Again, remember, I'm going to link to how to spot those in the description below or somewhere on the screen if a card pops up. So the thing is that when it comes to sifting, in my opinion also, this isn't that necessarily that bad of a con, just because it is going to make it so that only the students that are willing to do the work are the ones who get the money. So this could be in your student's favor if you and your student are willing to do that sifting. But that said, it's not a perfectly clean list for your family. You do still have to do some of the legwork. Now, one last con is that I have found sweepstakes scholarships on there. Sweepstakes scholarships, again, I talk about in that scam video, but it's basically where the choice is based on luck. So your student doesn't necessarily have any control over their chances of winning that scholarship. I am not a fan of these. If you follow any of my scholarship trainings, I really suggest against wasting time on these. So again, you do have to sift, and I don't like that those are on here. But at the same time, they do have a lot of legitimate scholarships that can compensate for those few sweepstakes that they have on the search engine. So that said, again, remember that when it comes to us teaching our families how to secure scholarships, we're now almost at $10 million that our families have secured. So I think we know what we're doing. We really push them to use our Google search method first. Then once they've really used Google search to build that list, then they can go to these other search engines. And if they are going to use search engines, then Scholly is certainly one that I think is acceptable. We have it on our list of suggestions. I don't think the cons outweigh the pros in any way. So I do recommend it as long as the fee is within your budget and your student is ready to do that legwork, that sifting, so that they can make sure that they're only applying to legitimate scholarships through this list that they get as a result. So again, if you want to join that free training where I show you how to do that Google search method, you can click the link below, or you can go to thescholarshipsystem.com/free webinar. Now, don't forget to hit subscribe, because this is just one of many of the reviews that I'm going to be doing on scholarships and search engines and so many other tools when it comes to securing money for college so that your student can graduate with a debt-free degree. All right, I will see you in the next video.